Chapter 14. Stuffed Noodles. The life essence was important. The payment day was more important. That was Ertan's order of priorities. The morning he walked out of his chamber with his coin pouch tied to his belt and the strap of his lunch satchel pulling fresh against his shoulder. The life essence had been waiting in the false bottom of his clothes chest for 6 days already. The life essence could wait a little longer. The children could not. Payment meant food that did not taste of compromise, drink that was not watered down, faces that would smile without calculation. That was enough for today. Every month, whether his pay came from the academy or from a bit of private tutoring he had picked up on the side, Ertan went down the slope to the south of the city to look in on his old town's surviving children. Sorgun had not been a large village. It had been a barley and onion town of perhaps 200 families on the southern lip of the steppes, 2 days' ride from the Ninth Gate fortress. And on the afternoon Ertan turned 12, the cyclone of light had come down off the eastern ridge, and Sorgun had stopped being a place that anyone had ever come from. The remaining 10 had been Ertan and Yabgu and Tonga and Bortsina and Istemi and Bumin and Alpagu and Tardu and the babies, Bars and Manas, who had been carried the whole way. The capital had absorbed 9 of them. Ertan had been pulled into the academy as a charity case. The other 8 elder children had been placed in the orphanage along with the babies. The babies had stayed on at the orphanage's nursery, where they were now 8 years old and still did not know. The walk from the academy to the south slum was on a sunny afternoon, just about an hour. He took it slowly. He liked the smell of the south slums in the late afternoon. Cheap charcoal and roasted onions and damp wool drying on lines and the faint fishwater stink of the lower river. The richer side of the city had no smell at all. The south slums had a smell. The smell was home. He turned the last corner and saw the noodle shop. The shop sat between a tinker's stall and a dyer's yard in a small, lopsided wooden building that had once been a cobbler's storefront. The big wooden sign over the door was hand-painted in faded red, East House of Noodles, and inside the open door the steam was already going. The smell reached Ertan 20 paces out, and he was all at once very hungry. He pushed through the bead curtain. The noodle shop was 12 low tables, a long, low service counter at the back, 2 open coal fires under broad, blackened pans, and a single steam cabinet. The owner, Ustad Arslan, a thick-armed old man with one milky eye and a cleaver that looked older than Ertan, was at the counter slapping a fresh ball of dough onto the long pulling board. Behind the counter, in the spatter-stained pale gray apron of the assistant cook, was Yabgu. Yabgu looked up. Yabgu's face went open, the way only a Sorgun face could go open.
Ertan abi.
Yabgu.
The hug nearly broke Ertan's ribs. Kitchen work had given Yabgu shoulders like his father's, the constant lifting of dough trays, and there was a small new white scar across his eyebrow where a cooking spit had caught him last winter. He still smelled like home. The hug pulled Ertan a full step off his feet. He was about to laugh and hug back when something hit him from behind. Hard.
Make way, make room.
Tonga. Tonga had grown. Ertan turned and looked up. Up! Now, which was its own small unkindness, and saw Tonga grinning down at him with the lopsided proud grin Tonga had been making since he was 8 years old. The grin was the same. The boy under the grin was not. Tonga was 17 now, 6 fingers taller than Ertan and broader through the chest than Yabgu, with knuckles that were scabbed across both hands.
What are you doing here? Are you working here? I am working here thanks to Yabgu. Ungrateful little brother gets the senior assistant tag and suddenly thinks he's above the dishwashing. Since when? 2 months. If you had come last month, you would have known. I did come. You 2 slackers were not here. Your master said you had gone off somewhere, so I ate my noodles and left. You could have waited for us. And who do you 2 think you have become to make me wait?
He smacked Tonga lightly on the back of the head. It was a smack he had been giving Tonga for 9 years. The smack in particular had become the family greeting.
Now bring me 2 portions of stuffed noodles. Drench them in spicy oil. I am famished. I have been eating wretched academy food.
Run, or he will beat me too.
Tonga went at the fast-loping walk of a boy too tall for his kitchen. But he laughed all the way to the back, and the laugh was the same laugh he had been using since he was 8, and Ertan stood in the steam of the noodle shop and watched him go and felt his rib cage loosen for the first time in 3 weeks. He sat down at the corner table. The corner table was by long agreement among them all their table. Yabgu set a small clay cup of green tea down in front of Ertan with a steady hand.
How is everyone else? Any news of bars and manas?
The little ones are at the orphanage doing fine. Clueless about the past. Maybe that is for the best.
Maybe. And the others? And the others?
They are coming here too, as it happens.
Where are they?
Bortsina said you would be here today, so we decided to gather.
Ertan set the cup down. He looked at Yabgu carefully.
Is there good news? Are you marrying Bortsina?
Things are a little strained between us, but I am sure we will marry one day. That is not the thing we wanted to talk about.
What is it then?
Let us wait for them.
The bead curtain rattled.
Make way! Make way!
Tonga came barging through the kitchen door, this time with a bowl of stuffed noodles balanced on each forearm and steam rolling off them in a thick, hot curtain.
I will burn my hands. Make way!
He reached the corner table. He set the bowls down with a force that made the table jump. Both bowls were the size of a small helmet. Both were drenched in red chili oil. The oil pooled at the rim. Ertan's stomach made a small, glad, alarmed sound.
Ulu Tengri, look at this.
Tonga punched his shoulder. Not hard, hard enough.
Eat fast or I will tell Ustad you are paying double. You are paying double, by the way. Yes, fine, of course.
Tonga went back to the counter. Ertan picked up the wooden spoon, wooden, never metal, and started in on the noodles. The noodles were perfect. The pasta was rolled paper thin, folded twice, stuffed with a paste of minced lamb and crushed onion and warm cumin, and a small crack of black pepper drowned in the chili oil and topped with 2 halves of a soft-boiled duck egg and a fistful of chopped chive. They were the cheapest thing on Ustad Arslan's board. They were the best thing in the South slums. He devoured the first bowl. Halfway through the second, the bead curtain rattled again, and the rest of Sorgun walked in. They came in together. They always came in together at least twice a year. Bortsina led them. She was wearing the dark canvas dust jacket of the academy cleaning crew, and her 2 long black braids hung down her back in the style their mothers had worn. She had her father's nose and her mother's small, hard mouth, and she carried on a strap over her shoulder the unstrung short bow she had been carrying since she was 11. She would not put it down. She slept with it under her cot. Ertan had stopped trying to talk her out of it. Buman came in second. He had grown into a long, thin boy with a silent way about him and a high-collared coat he never took off. Under the collar, along the line of his throat, ran the long, pale ridge of the surge, scar that a falling beam had left him on the day Sorgun ended. He nodded at Ertan and did not speak. Alpagu, who had been the smallest of them and was still the smallest, came in next. He was laughing at a joke he was telling himself. He laughed too loud the way he always did. The other patrons turned to look. Alpagu did not notice. Tardu came in behind Alpagu with a folded broadsheet under one arm. Istemi came in last. Istemi had once been the most cheerful of them. Istemi was now the one with the hands that frightened Ertan. He was 19. His hands, when he laid them on the table to greet Ertan, were covered in bruises, old yellow-green bruises along the knuckles and fresh purple ones along the second finger joints and 2 fingernails black with old blood. He cracked his knuckles before he sat down. He did this every time. The crack was a small ritual. Ertan had noticed in the last 6 months that the cracking had begun to hurt him. Istemi made a tiny grimace when he did it and tried to cover the grimace by speaking quickly. Ertan got up. He hugged each of them in turn. He held Bumin a beat longer than the others. He did this every visit. Bumin let him. He sat them all down. He pushed his second bowl toward the center of the table. Yabgu and Tonga slipped their aprons off and came to sit too. 8 of Sorgun at one table. 10 if you counted the babies.
Other than the babies, we are all here.
His voice did not crack. He was proud of that. He looked around the table. Their clothes. He had not let himself look properly at their clothes in months. Bortsina's dust jacket had 3 patches at the shoulder. Bumin's high-collared coat had been mended at the cuff with thread that did not match. Alpagu's boots were the wrong size. Tardu's worn-out jacket flapped loose at the seams. Istemi's apron strap was cracked leather repaired with rope, and Istemi's nails were still dark with old blood. If their parents were alive, Ertan thought they would never have let them leave the house like this. He poured each of them a cup of green tea.
Other than the babies, we are all here. Welcome what remains of Sorgun.
Thank you, Ertan abi, they answered more or less in unison. The reply was an old reply. They had been making it since the road. The reply meant, we are still here. He smiled. He kept smiling. The orders came. The spicy oil came. Ustad Arslan came out of the kitchen himself to greet each of them with a thumb press to the shoulder, the southern way of greeting friends, who are family. In front of Bortsina Ertan sat a small lacquered bowl of pickled radish, which she had loved as a child in Sorgun before her mother had stopped existing. He watched her face as she saw the pickled radish. They ate. The table got loud. Tonga wanted to know whether Ertan had been near anyone who had seen the new commander's face yet. Boomin wanted to know, by silently pointing at his own mouth, then at the noodle, then making a question, whether Ertan had managed to sneak any spice paste up from the south slums into his academy chamber. Alpagu was telling some long laughing story about a customer at the dye yard who had tripped and dyed himself blue. Istemi cracked his knuckles every time someone passed him a dish. Ertan let it wash over him.
What do you say, Ertan abi? They say the Kagan is pressing for a bigger Akin?
Ertan blinked. He set his teacup down. This was he understood, not small talk. Bortsina cleaned the academy. Bortsina cleaned the upper academy. She had been carrying messages for Sorgun since they were 8, and she knew everything that happened on the north side an hour before the north side did, through a web of cleaners and porters and bath attendants that no one official ever counted.
Yes, I saw the head shaman pressing the headmaster and the ritual head, but it is useless. And the governor and his allies are spreading rumors about the Kagan, about how weak he is.
Yabgu smacked the back of Tonga's head, a small, efficient, not too loud smack. Ertan smiled at the censorship.
It is useless. Why? No matter how many we throw across, no one comes back. Rather than send more, we need to do something about getting them home.
A beat. Bortsina nodded slowly.
Just so. I was thinking the same thing. I think that is why the governor's guards were moving sealed crates out of the ritual storehouse at night.
The table went quiet.
Sealed crates? Out of the ritual storehouse? At night?
With his own people. Not the ritual arm. Not the shaman guard. Black falcons.
How long has this...
A couple of weeks.
How do you...
I was emptying the upper hall scullery. The window looks down on the storehouse yard.
Probably to sell for quid profit.
Ertan stared at her. He had a very small, bright, cold thought. They are stealing supplies in advance of something. He filed it away.
With this much corruption, we are doomed.
Tonga reached for the spicy oil. Boomin watched the door. Alpagu, for the first time since he had walked in, was not laughing.
Now let us drop the troubles of the world. It is not as if it is our task to save the Kaganite or the world. Us, orphans.
He met each of their eyes as he poured.
I hear you have news for me. Is it good? It is something for all of us to be together. So in some ways, I think it is good. What is it?
Tonga looked at Bortsina. Bortsina looked at Yabgu. Yabgu looked at Istemi. Istemi looked briefly at his bruised hands.
We have all decided to enlist.
Ertan's spoon stopped.
What?
He turned to Bortsina.
Even you, Bortsina?
What are you trying to say, Brother Ertan? I have the best bow skills of any of us.
Where does this come from? Are you not happy here? It is in our blood, Ertan abi. What makes you say the Tonga? We were a farming town.
It does not matter. The Kaganite is a war nation. We are all soldiers.
Ertan looked at Istemi's hands.
There must be something else. Why would all of you join? Did we not suffer enough? Sacrifice enough?
He looked at their lowered faces.
Let other children die for 2 arm-widths of land.
Istemi reached across the table. He laid his bruised hand over Ertan's.
Ertan abi, there is no future for us here.
What do you mean?
No one will teach us a craft.
Are you not apprenticed to a furniture maker?
He only makes me carry things, cut things. He teaches the fine work only to his nephew and his sons. He has not paid me in 2 months.
Ertan stared at the bruised hand on top of his. He turned to Bortsina. She did not wait for him to ask.
Brother Ertan, I tried everywhere to learn sewing or carpet weaving. No one would give me any real work. They do not want orphans like us getting good crafts.
Can you not take over the noodle shop? This place could provide for you. Ustad.
The owner is old, and he has no family. Some of the Gerben clan paid him to take over the license. In a couple of months, we will not even be able to work here.
The spicy oil at the rim of Ertan's bowl had gone cold.
This license and the guild rules are all in their favor. You could make the finest meat in the city, but if you tried to sell it, they would confiscate your materials and throw you in a cell.
Ertan looked slowly at Tonga's scabbed knuckles. He looked at Istemi's bruised hands. He looked at the small white scar above Yabgu's eyebrow. He looked at the unstrung bow on Bortsina's back. He had thought they were settling into life here, building better days one at a time. Instead, they were only surviving in a city that did not want them, that tolerated them only as cheap hands. His chest closed. He swallowed. He kept his face level.
That is why we decided to join. It is the only place that teaches you by what you are and what you can do. That is how your father became commander of the Ninth Gate.
Ertan scratched his head. It was true. His father had been a peasant manifester who had risen to Bahadur of the Ninth Gate on no name and no bloodline and no patronage. Whether it still did was another question. His father had been dead 9 years. He let out a long breath. He reached his free hand across the table and laid it on top of Istemi's. The three hands made a small stack at the center of the noodle shop table, Ertan and Istemi and the wood beneath them dark with 3 centuries of other men's elbow grease.
What can I say? You have all decided. I cannot talk you out of a decision you have made together. I cannot promise it will be better in the years to come. There is no one behind us but us. About that, we want you to join with us.
Ertan went still.
What? They will never let you rise at the academy either. Come with us. No. No, I cannot.
The silence at the table lasted a long beat.
Is it because of Tomris?
Ertan lowered his head.
I do not know. Maybe.
If she were to marry, would you come with us? There is talk among the workers. The governor is making a move to fold the city commander's house into his own. He has no daughter, only the one granddaughter.
Ertan scratched his head. His stomach dropped. Burke's face from the tavern 2 weeks ago came up unbidden. We are his tribe. My father and I have good positions. You have no horse in this race.
Rumors. And what makes you think they would keep us all together? We spoke with the newly appointed commander. He promised to take us as one. Where? At the Ninth Gate Fort.
Ertan opened his mouth. He closed it. The Ninth Gate, his father's old station, a frontier fortress 30,000 strong holding the southern caravan roads against 2 neighboring countries, 3 days from Sorgun, 3 days from the place where the eastern ridge had folded in on itself one summer afternoon when Ertan had been 12. His family was leaving him. He could not follow them. The life essence was in the false bottom of his chest. The 43rd was 2 months out. Tomris was 2 months out. He had given his word. He swallowed the thing in his throat. He swallowed it again.
Who is the new commander? Did you meet him?
Yes and no. He is to be appointed.
When?
He said in a couple of months. He gave us training routines and coin to buy gear.
He poured them another round around the table with hands that he did not at any point allow to shake.
I will think on it. Children of Sorgan, all of you. Promise me one thing. Whenever you leave, the babies come first. Bars and Manas, we make sure they are placed. Family.
Your family?
Family.
The 8 of them in the steam of the noodle shop in the south slum of Kut Orda answered the way Sorgun had answered every question Ertan had asked them on the road, 16 days long when he had been 12, and they had been smaller, and the only road they had known was the road away from a place that had stopped existing. He did not cry. He had not allowed himself to cry in front of Sorgun in 9 years. He paid double on the bill and left extra besides slipped to Ustad without the others knowing. He walked the hour back up the slope to the academy. He locked his chamber door behind him. He sat on the edge of his bed for a very long time without moving. Then he opened the false bottom of his clothes. Chest took the corked vial of swimming gold up off the winter cloak, held it in both hands, and looked at it. The gold flecks inside it kept swimming.
2 months. Just 2 months. Hold.
He put the vial back. He blew out the candle. He did not sleep.